First case before the court, State of Ohio versus Michael McKee, is 26 CR 253. There are 5 counts. 4 counts of aggravated murder, unclassified felonies, and 1 count of aggravated burglary, felony 1. Each of these counts come with a 3 and a 6-year firearm specification.
Thank you. Counsel, please make your appearance.
Thank you, Your Honor. Diane Menashe on behalf of Michael McKee.
Thank you.
Your Honor, with respect to the allegations, we would acknowledge receipt, waive reading, enter not guilty pleas to all counts contained therein.
Michael McKee, the man accused of killing a dentist and his wife, was back in court, this time in the state where he is charged with their murders. And it has been announced that he has hired a very high-profile, high-powered attorney, Diane Menashe, somebody we have spoken to before here on Law&Crime. What do we know about her, but more importantly, are there any clues from her past successful cases that can give us clues as to how she might defend this guy? Let's talk about it. Welcome to Sidebar, presented by Law&Crime. I'm Jesse Weber. They were a successful, beloved couple, a dentist and his wife found shot to death in their own home in the first light of the new year.
And for weeks, the question became, who could have done this? And that is when the spotlight turned to the ex-husband.
The ex-husband of the wife, a Chicago surgeon named Michael McKee. There was a manhunt, there was an arrest, there was an extradition, and now he's here, sitting in the Franklin County Jail. His first Ohio court appearance happened today. We're going to play a little bit of it as well, but really what we want to focus on the sidebar is something different, because this case took a turn into very familiar territory for us here at Law&Crime. Why? Because he hired a lawyer that we know very well. It is a name that you've heard before on this show.
Diane Menashe, a 27-year veteran who has covered a lot of big cases. In fact, she's been with us here right on Sidebar. Let me bring in Diane Menashe. She's a trial attorney in Ohio. Diane, so good to see you. It's been a minute since we have a chance to talk. Unfortunately, these are the circumstances. Before we even get into all of the legal components of it, what is just your overall reaction when you heard about this? Because this is from your home state. See, we know.
Oh, I wasn't lying. Now, Menashe is a very high-profile defense attorney you call on when the stakes are life and death. She has fought in some of the biggest murder trials that we've seen recently. So, as I mentioned, 27-year veteran, okay, she filed an official notice of appearance in this case on January 22nd. She has defended about 36 people that have been facing the death penalty. Again, very high-profile cases in Franklin County. She's also somebody who is apparently opposed to the death penalty. To give you an idea of who we're talking about, by the way, she grew up in Seattle. She attended Purdue University. She got her law degree at Tulane University in New Orleans. She worked in the Ohio Public Defender's Death Penalty Unit. She's actually an instructor in Harvard Law School's Trial Advocacy Workshop. She's a fellow in the American College of Trial Lawyers, the International Academy of Trial Lawyers. She is very, very accomplished. And in fact,
we have covered cases before where she was representing the defendant in very high-profile
cases. I mean, do we remember the cases of former Mount Carmel Dr. William Husol? How about Matthew Moore? And now she is building the defense for Michael McKee. So the question is there anything from those past cases, her tactics, the way she fought those, that will give us an idea, a clue, as to how she might defend Michael McKee?
So as we ask what fight are we about to see, because with Diane Menashe on board, it's not just about what
happened that night. It is about how every single piece of evidence is presumably going to be challenged. How the police investigated this from the start. Because remember, the defense doesn't have to prove that Michael McKee didn't do this. Their job is to raise reasonable doubt. Their job is to say the prosecution cannot meet their burden. They can't dot all the I's, they can't cross all the T's.
Now, before I break down what we've seen from Diane Menashe, Michael McKee.
He did appear in court earlier today for his arraignment, and through his new attorney, Diane Menashe, he was read the formal charges and he pleaded not guilty. Here's what went down with this crucial first legal showdown. First case before the court, State of Ohio versus Michael McKee, is 26 CR 253. There are 5 counts. 4 counts of aggravated murder, unclassified felonies, and 1 count of aggravated burglary. Felony 1. Each of these counts come with a 3 and a 6-year firearm specification. Thank you, counsel. Please make your appearance. Thank you, Your Honor. Diane Menashe on behalf of Michael McKee. Your Honor, with respect to the allegations, we would acknowledge receipt, waive reading, enter not guilty pleas to all counts contained therein. We would also waive bond at this time, although we certainly reserve the right to raise that at a later date. The plea of not guilty form has been executed and signed on behalf of my client. Nothing further. Thank you, counsel. I've signed the not guilty plea. I'm signing the bond form indicating that bond is due wage. Anything further? Later on. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so now let's get back to Diane Menashe, the driver of the defense's side. So
What are we expecting in terms of strategy? I want to briefly reset the table to look at the details that Menashe is going to be attempting to chip away at in this case. So
let's start there. Michael McKee. He's accused of entering the home of his ex-wife Monique Tepe and her husband Spencer Tepe in the early hours of December 30th, where prosecutors allege he shot and he killed both of them. The charges, 4 counts of aggravated murder, and break it down. 2 for allegedly killing with prior calculation and design, talking about premeditation, and 2 for allegedly killing while committing an aggravated burglary.
it's kind of like a felony murder rule, so 2 different theories to get him on the hook.
There's also a major specification in this case that a silencer, a suppressor, was used.
Now, to be clear, if the allegations are true, this wasn't a random act of violence.
Michael McKee and Monique Tepe had a past. They met and married in August of 2015. The marriage was short-lived. By March of 2016, just 7 months later, Monique had filed for divorce. But the court filings cite incompatibility. And at the time, McKee was finishing his medical residency in Virginia and the divorce was finalized. Monique moved on, eventually marrying Spencer Tepe, and they were approaching their 5-year anniversary.